recently established a charity which will be the topic of his discussion tonight. Mark is a recent graduate of King Abdullah University of Science and Technology in Jeddah, where he received a master's degree in materials engineering. Mark also holds a degree in physics and is currently a mechanical engineer at Aramco. Katie lives in Washington and will be starting a master's degree in hydrology this fall. She recently published a journal article on water issues on Easter Island. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Mark Rosa. Please give him your attention.
Okay, Badalisha, be the change. Thank you guys very much for having me here tonight. And thank you for that nice introduction. As you probably guessed by now, my name is Mark. And my sister was also introduced. I was gonna try to have her here tonight on Skype. Unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties, we weren't able to make that happen. But I was sitting there thinking how difficult my talk is gonna be after those two stellar presentations. So first, in a way, I would like to thank them, and also in a way, I'm a little bit angry that they were so good. But at least it was a good tie-in to what I'm gonna say. Mr. Slick had a lot of good things to say. They're very related to my talk, because as you can see, I'm gonna discuss this organization, Kutamani. And it's a brand new organization. It's not even 2 weeks old. It's a charity that my sister and I have just created, and my point is not to discuss the charity, but it's to hopefully inspire you guys to show you what something like this looks like, where I'm trying to make a change from the very beginning, and hopefully give you guys ideas how you can do it yourself, and also the ability to contact me if you have any questions about starting your own endeavors. But I'd also like to thank Todd for what he said, and also explain that what I'm going to discuss tonight in a way is a story of responsibility, because you guys are very gifted to be here and to have the life that you do at Aramco and the insight into the world as it is. And that's how my charity started, sort of as a responsibility, but I'll explain that a little more next. But first I'm just going to bring you guys on board with the charity and what it is, how it started, our vision, and then the future, where we go from there, what you guys can do and what maybe we can do for you. So before I get into it any further, I want to stress one thing. These are some documents, some fancy documents we just recently got. One's from the state of Washington over here, and most of this isn't important. It just says we're official. But the important thing here, which you can't even see, it's too small, I think it's right there, is the date. And that was issued on February 7th. This one is February 14th. So here, as of tomorrow, we're 2 weeks old as an organization. And with tax exemption status, that's not even official yet. I can't even talk about that one. But this is brand new. And the thing is that if you guys want to start something, make note, because this is what it looks like at very early stages. So now I'd like to discuss what exactly we're trying to accomplish with our charity. And the name, it's somewhat serendipitous that Badalisha is a Swahili name, and you guys have an African twist on this evening, because the name of our organization is Kutamani, and it actually had a large part to do with one of your teachers here, Miss Kanairi, or April as I affectionately know her. Yeah, give her a round of applause. And she chose the name, and she did a lot more than that. She inspired me, and she gave me a lot of support when this was just a seedling of an idea. And she said, hey, this can happen, and I want to be a volunteer, and you can get volunteers maybe even tonight. Here's a better name. I don't like the name that you have. And she told me everything straight like it was, and that's why I'm here in front of you guys tonight. And that's why we're a chartered, incorporated charity tonight, too. So thank you, Miss Kanairi. So now where this came from, I've traveled with Todd a lot, and I've had a lot of experiences, and I've also seen things that are difficult, a lot of poverty and a lot of people who just need a little bit, be it maybe financial or gifts in kind. They might need medical equipment or food to start an entrepreneurial business to sustain for them and their families, but they don't have that, and they can't start with that. And I was mostly inspired in Kenya. I saw very many interesting and intelligent and potentially dedicated young people who wanted to make a better life for themselves, but they had no means to do so. So I actually took this picture when I was in Kenya, when this whole concept was just being born. And so as you see, it's a Swahili word. It means to aspire, and that's what we want to do. We want to inspire other entrepreneurs to aspire to do something that they probably didn't think was possible, because that's what we're doing. So this is a picture of myself, and since the other person is not here, I don't have to talk about her. My little sister, she always steals the limelight, so we're just going to gloss over her tonight. No, I'm just kidding. I'll talk about Katie. But basically the story and how it came to be, I was studying for an exam, and near Christmas, late one night, couldn't get to sleep, couldn't turn my brain off, and I was thinking of all these things. My trip to Kenya, my house cleaner was leaving. He was saying he couldn't pay for his son to go to school anymore, and it reminded me of someone I met in Kenya who had to drop out of school. He didn't have $200 for the next semester. He had to drop out. And at the same time, I'm thinking about my Christmas gifts I'm going to be getting people. And one of them I usually give to charity in honor of my family. And I just added it up, and I realized that was enough to send this kid to school. But it's also enough to do something else and something else. And then it hit me, these concentric ideas kind of coalesced, and I thought, why not make a charity and make something that can perpetually help people? And conveniently, it was near my sister's birthday. And then I thought, why do the work myself when I can make my little sister do all the work for me? So then I went home and I gave her all that money for her birthday, and I said, this is in your honor. It's a charity that you're going to start. And now I also have a grievance with Todd about his last presentation. He didn't tell me that he was going to give a gift to anybody, but he honored Alice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to top that. And if she wants to, she can be an executive officer or a board member. You can be the treasurer. She has some skills. She just can't be the CEO. And whatever Katie does, we haven't figured that out, but you can't take her job. Anything else is yours, okay? I think that's better than a movie. You get off the shelf. And the beautiful thing too is if you guys are interested in helping, there's room for every one of you, because I have contacts and people who need help, and they need you guys. They need your perspective and your caring, because just like all the stories you've heard tonight, there are a lot of people in this world who have much less than you do. And if you would just have time, we're not even talking about money. If you have 20 minutes a week, if that, I can connect you guys with some cool projects to make a difference in this world, if you're interested. So now I'll be brief. I don't want to run too far over. But this slide is just about our vision. I wanted to capitalize it, put it in big letters, because we have a huge vision. And right now, our charity is just a piece of paper. But it's going to be big, and I hope a lot of you guys will be able to help us. As I mentioned, I wasn't kidding. I made my sister do a lot of the tough stuff. The first thing I want to talk about on this slide is the basics of a corporation, which is what a charity is. And it includes tax documents, tax exemption, creating what's called a 501(c) status, and all these horrible things that you don't even want to hear about. Financial forecast for the next 3 years, a business plan, motto. A lot of the stuff on your handout tonight came from her. And she took the initiative, my little baby sister, and she did all of it. So I really have to thank her, and I'm sorry she couldn't be here tonight. But then the fun part is thinking big and thinking about where this is going to go and what it can lead into. And so hopefully I'll be a little bit more help with her when it comes time to thinking about the fun stuff. But I hope you guys will too. And we have our email address on this form, so you guys can feel free to email us. And it's also the end of this presentation. But now just the last part, one of the last parts is how you guys can help us if you're interested. And basically what we need, most importantly, is just to spread the word and let other people, if you hear about another charity like Mr. Slick, let them know that this is out there and we need help. Also, we need, I don't know what to call them, candidates, recipients, people who need help. If you have traveled yourself to Bangladesh, or Iran or some country, and you heard a story and you got someone's email address and they couldn't go to school, let me know, because we can help them. We can help them, and you can be the one to help them too. We also need you. We need volunteers. We have a lot of things that we could do that you guys would enjoy, and you could learn a lot about the world too through this. Novel ideas, and then donations. I wasn't even going to put it up there. I hate asking for money for one, but my little sister, she told me when we were planning a few days ago for this presentation, and she said, you know, if anyone is inspired to give a little bit of money, we can take the money. And I just want to stress that that's going to happen. We're going to be collecting money, and it's not about the money, just as it's not about the ideas or the volunteers or the candidates. It's about doing. And so that's why I crossed out everything except the do's in that word, because all of this doesn't matter. It's not important. What matters is what we actually do and who we help. And I hope you guys can be a part of that. So here's my last slide. That's me and Katie when she first came to Saudi Arabia. I know I'm very cute in that picture. Thank you very much. Just kidding. But there's my email address for this organization. We just created it. It's about 48 hours old, that email address. And it's on your handout, anything. And if you don't even want to talk about the charity, you've got your own idea, email me about anything. And I'll try to reply as quickly as I can, or Katie will, because you have 2 people checking that address. But we want to hear from you. We want to build a global community, and we want to help you guys launch your goals. That's the most important thing here tonight. So I've also on the back, if you're academically minded and interested in any of these things, I am, and I've put together a few things here. The first 4 are some charities and foundations that I believe in. The second category are some scholarly articles. The second was written by the 2006 Nobel Peace Prize recipient. I've also got a few books. I have all these. If anyone wants them, I can lend them. Number 2 is also a Nobel laureate. Lectures, they're all TED Talks, but they're very good. And the last are internet resources. The last one I put up is the World Bank, which is an organization trying to help people too. And the 3 above that are actually, I think, Attorneys Without Borders, Engineers Without Borders, and Doctors Without Borders. And that's just random occupations that you kids, you might want to be someday. And my point with that is whatever you want to be, you can also help people in a big way with that. So there's an internet link. I'm sure there's Teachers Without Borders. Whatever you want to do, you can make the world a better place through that. And in your spare time, you can start a charity or a humane society for animals. You can do a lot of stuff. And I want to hear about some big things that came from tonight. So thank you guys very much. And that's all I have. Thank you.